The EU hits back at Trump's metal tariffs. President Trump's increased tariffs of 25% on all US steel and aluminium imports took effect today and drew a swift response from Europe. The European Commission said it would impose counter tariffs on up to €26 billion worth of US goods from next month. Well, Joachim Klement is head of strategy at Panmure Liberum. Joachim, US futures are pointing to a positive open for Wall Street after the previous session's volatility, but how do you see all this tariff news working out on the markets?
Well, the tariff news is at the same time good and bad. It is good because it isn't the 50% tariffs that Trump mentioned yesterday. At the same time, it's bad because it increases inflation both in Europe and, of course, in the US, but on a very small set of goods that are imported. So we can all live with it as it is right now, but I think also this is just the first step in an ever-escalating trade war.
But what have you actually made of the market reaction so far? I mean, this week has been pretty momentous in that respect.
It has been pretty momentous, and it is a mixture of all kinds of information. It is, on the one hand, the tariff worries and the worries about a higher likelihood for recession in the US. But then again, today we also have the news about a potential ceasefire in Ukraine, which certainly is lifting the spirits today and is dominating, I think, today after the sell-off in the last few days that created some buying opportunities.
But Joachim, is a US recession now a real possibility?
I don't think so, at least not in 2025, because the US economy is still growing very strong, has a lot of momentum. And unless we are getting a massive escalation of the trade war, that momentum will be hard to kill. However, with rising inflation pressures, we will see a slowdown of the US economy, and that might eventually in 2026 push the US on the brink of a recession, but for now it's too early.
Now let's turn to some corporate news, and Roche has signed the biggest ever obesity drug deal. The Swiss firm has agreed a $5.3 billion licensing agreement for next generation treatment made by Zealand Pharma. How significant a deal is this?
Obviously, the numbers are huge, and the deal is very favorable to Zealand Pharma, but also to Roche, because Roche gets access to a potentially very successful and very important weight loss drug. However, we have to be careful with the timing, because the drug that Roche now signed on from Zealand Pharma is in a phase 1, phase 2 trial situation. Until it comes to market will be late 2020s, maybe 2030. And that's a time when a lot of other competitors like AstraZeneca will also have come to market. So the field is getting crowded, and the first movers like Novo and Eli Lilly will still be unchallenged in the next 3 to 4 years.
That was Joachim Klement from Panmure Liberum. And don't forget, you can get more videos on Reuters.com.